Right, can you see me, boys? Can you see me? Hopefully you can. If not, fuck it, you're just going to have to listen to me for a minute. Whilst I'm trying to set up this technical rubbish and hopefully make things happen and make things work, my beer was in the freezer and it froze stiff. Now, basically what's happened is it's turned into a flipping slush puppy. And I ain't trying to drink a slush puppy. Obviously, it's nice and cold. I mean, it's not even a liquid, though. That's the issue with it. I don't really know what to do with the beer. I don't know what to do. I mean, if you're in the comments right now, let me know down below what to do, what not to do. One person watching. Is that Tyrone Wong? Please put in the chat if you are Tyrone Wong. Of course, I need to turn this down all the way. Right. We good? We good? Tyrone Wong, you're watching? Right. Look, I've had a bit of a Tiswas. I don't know if you can see this. Boom. The beer has ended up like a slush puppy. Stuck it in the freezer for too long. Don't really know what to do. All I can do is leave it on the side. Hopefully it melts into a liquid. That's all I'm doing at the minute. Of course, we've had some spillages because what happens is the ice melts. Boom. Liquid comes up. Fills the top. It leaks out. That's what's been happening. Finance Fridays, BG Dollar. Subscribe, like, comment. Look on your screens. Do exactly as you said. Biggest weekly movers. Of course, we've got the risers. GameStop up by 8%. We've got Qualcomm up 5.45% in the past week. You've got the fallers. You've got Alibaba down 15.85%. Not many stocks were moving. That's a big issue. And of course, I am keeping an eye on this pint. So if I do glance to the right, it's because my pint in there. And yeah, look, shall I give it a go at pouring? Oh, hello. It's cold as shit, but we're making some progress here. Look at this, look. This is what we got going on BG Dollar's channel. Subscribe, like, comment. Top notch sort of. Do you know what? That'll do for now. Look, we've got some ice in there as well. Fucking stuck in the freezer too long, didn't I? Twats. Right, anyway. Oh, we got 3 viewers. Welcome aboard. Put in the chat who you are, what you're saying. I'll be going through the stocks. I'll be going through the biggest weekly movers here. Alibaba was down 15.85% in the last week. We've got not many stocks moving today and not many stocks moving throughout the week as well. Zoom was down 17.28%, but we're going to get onto the next sort of slide here. Sector movements for the S&P 500. 10 out of 11 stocks were up today. Look at that. We had consumer staples up. If IT up, healthcare up, real estate up, consumer discretionary up, industrials up. You can read there for yourselves. The only one that was down was utilities. Of course, utilities an inflationary sort of sector, isn't it? Hopefully this beer will start pouring now. I did kind of fuck it, but we're hopefully good to go. So let's get cracking. Communication services, worst performing week. Look at that, look. On the 5-day chart, you can see here, consumer staples best performing, as it says down in your bottom left in the past week, and communication services, your worst performing sector, as it says down here, minus 5.5%. Communication services. My bad. I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit flustered from the beer. S&P 500 performance, down 0.28%, so a slight sort of loss. Not really, as I said, the markets haven't really moved anywhere. They haven't been bullish, they haven't been bearish. We've sort of seen this period where we've had some buys, we've had some sellers. We haven't really seen some price action maneuvers there. S&P 500 is down 0.28%. I'm going to have a little sip of this, see how is it going. It's fucking cold for sure. And as I said, it's a hot day in the UK, so I ain't really complaining too much. But it's just a bit frustrating there. I've still got something left in here, but it's not coming out. We'll have to leave it a second. Right. Anyway, enough of the beer. Nasdaq performance down 0.55%. Again, not really market moves, is there? We're sort of seeing, again, a sort of trading sideways sort of distribution there. There's no bulls coming in. There's no bears coming in. There's no one really taking action going, look, this is where I want the market to move. This is the QQQ, of course, an ETF version of the Nasdaq, and it's down 0.55%. Right, on to the next one. Russell 2000, again, all the small cap stocks. these stocks generally aren't actually profitable as of just yet. They're your small companies, they're your non-profitable sort of companies, down 1.89%. Not surprising necessarily, but again, the markets haven't really moved. When the markets are risk on, you see the Russell 2000 normally outperform the S&P 500. When the markets are risk off, you normally see the Russell 2000 underperform the market. And that's what's been happening in the past 5 days. Look, 1.89%. Moving on, Wednesday we had the CPI, core CPI, again, big news that was, expected 8.8%, actual, it came out 9.1%. Again, you're going to see my predictions later on in this live stream that actually I predicted inflation to come under expectations, so I was wrong. And of course, as investors, we've got to understand that we are going to be wrong at some points. And this is the BLS, the Borough of United States Department of Labour there, top right. You can't see it because my camera is there, but we'll be for sure going through this report anyway. Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers increased by 1.3% in June on a seasonally adjusted basis. If you haven't watched my inflation video, go and watch that one because that was a banging sort of video there. The increase was broad-based, with the indexes for gasoline, shelter and food being the largest contributors. Again, we're seeing this sort of every single month on our reports, that gas, shelter and food are always sort of keeping up inflation and pushing inflation higher and higher. If we just quickly scan through this, we're not trying to go through everything. Of course, there's something interesting that we have got individual foods done by their individual inflations. So I like to see that as well. Energy here increased by 7.5% in June. Surprising because I thought the oil prices actually dropped in June. But the thing is, right, if oil prices drop, not necessarily the prices at the pump drop, which is stupid. The BP garages or the garages are kind of scamming you because the prices they're paying for the oil has dropped, but they're not changing the prices at the pumps. They're not dropping the prices at the pumps. So they're keeping the big profits and increasing profits, which is, of course, a scam by them. Oh, honestly, that is quite nice cold, but yeah, you can go overboard with it. Right, anyway. Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, of course, we've been through this 9.1%, nothing much to see there. I like to go through the individual food categories just to see, it's quite entertaining. See what's up and down. Right, all items, food, bomb. Let's see what's happening. Where is it? June 21, May 22, June 2022. Right, this is it. This is the column you want to be looking at, everyone, folks. This is the column. This is basically inflation over the year, all right? So it's from June 2021 to June 2022. And it's for each individual sort of sector there. And you've got food up 10.4% over the last year in general. But then it starts dissecting into your individual foods. That there you have cereals and bakery products up 12.2%. You have, oh no, that's your food at home. You have your cereal and bakery products up 13.8%. Sorry, my bad. You got 11.7% up for your meats, poultry, fish and eggs. Now, I don't know if you want to buy your meats, poultry, fish and eggs now. If it's up 11.7%. But to be fair, comparing it to other inflation sort of results we're seeing, it's not too bad. Look, 13.5% up for your dairy. So your milks are going to be up. Your cheeses are going to be up quite considerably. Now, of course, I'm going to have a sip of my bev and do subscribe. I know it's only Tyrone Wong watching, but what's that? Star of Prime and bigger than San Miguel. I mean, I'd probably agree with you on that score. To be honest, actually, I probably would. But I'll tell you what I got at Tesco's for a fucking £4 club card price, mate. That's what you got to go for. Look at this. Look, it's fucking. Let me know, Tyrone Wong, in the comments if you have ever sort of stuck your can in for the freezer for too long and it's ended up iced up. But as I said, it's very cold, so it's still kind of nice. But I did lose a bit of beer. But, you just got to take it on the chin. If we're going through energy, as I said, this is the column you want to look at. And you can clearly see that energy, 41.6% up year on year. Huge sort of numbers there. Yeah, it's not looking good for energy, is it? You got energy commodities up 60.6%. As I said, fuel oil 98.5%. So can't say I have, mate. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even leave it in there for too long. It must have been about 30 to 40 minutes. I was doing my BG dollars. Maybe I lost track of time. I've gone back to it and it's ended up like a slush puppy. But of course, it will melt. I've still ended up with a decent sort of sized tinny. it's not the greatest, but it's not the end result, is it? It's not like I've lost everything. So anyway, fuel oil 98.5%, practically doubled in price. If we're going by, of course, 100% would mean it's doubled. Motor fuel 60.2% up. You got gasoline. So energy, as I said, one of probably the biggest inflation contributors right now, 41.6%, and that's what's keeping up inflation. Of course, that's all down to Russia and Ukraine situation. All items less food and energy. Now, this is one that's very, very important. You see, if we're going over to the Fed, right, the Central Bank of America, they like to look at their individual sort of effects on inflation. They can't help Russia, Ukraine. They can't help the prices in food, the prices in petrol, oil, gas. They can't do anything about it. That's out of their hands. However, what they can do about is items less food and energy, which is what we call core CPI, and this is what the Fed really reacts to. So if we see true inflation, inflation without oil and food products getting in the way, it's only at 5.9%. So the Fed will see that and say, look, true sort of inflation is at 5.9%. If we're looking at inflation over the sort of, on the big sort of level, then of course Russia and Ukraine, all those situations are getting involved, and yes, they're pushing inflation higher. But what the Fed are down to is there, look, 5.9% is the true sort of inflation level. And that's your sort of inflation for clothes, your sort of inflation for like tables, chairs. As you've got your alcoholic beverages there, 4% up from a year ago today. Alcoholic beverages. What's this? This is medical care. Commodities up 3.2. Honestly, I don't have a clue what medical care commodities are. But I presume there's something important. If they're on this chart, then there will be something important. Used cars and trucks. Again, if people want to buy used cars, used trucks, Facebook Marketplace, all this, that, and the other, then 7.1% is quite a scary number to go through. But anyway, we're just going to quickly whiz through this. This is the real deal here. Look, this is the real deal. And we've got to make sure we got the column right. June 2021 to June 2022. This is the column we want here, right here, folks. And we got breakfast cereals up 14.2%. I was surprised, yeah, because, you know, I thought my Cocoa Pops were going up quite big. And, yeah, there you go. You can see it on the chart yourself. And just have a look through the chart. I'm going to have a few sips of this beer. And just have a look through the chart. This is the column you want to see, and you can see, look, you got biscuits, rolls, and muffins up 13.2% year on year. Are you going to be eating biscuits, rolls, and muffins now? Probably not. Probably not. What's this? Crackers, bread, and cracker products, 16.6% up. You know, Jacobs will probably be going out of business sooner or later. Of course, you didn't hear that from me. You got pork up 9%. You got your bacon, breakfast, sausage, and related products up 11.9%. So don't be surprised if your full English breakfasts are costing more nowadays. This is all through the printing of money and the war. Of course, food-wise, it's probably more to do with the war in terms of the core CPI, which is the inflation rate before food and energy, which is what we went through, didn't we? All items less food and energy, 5.9%. That's the sort of true inflation that you have for your nation, which of course is the US. But anyway, enough with the CPI. Of course, we had to spend more time on that because that is the main sort of news out today. Now, there we are. Look, full screen. Bomb. I sorted it. Friday, we had retail sales. Again, we're not going to go through it as long as we did with the other one. We will just have a quick look at what it came out as. Again, this is a smaller sort of report here anyway. US retail sales climbed in June by more than forecast in a broad advance, suggesting resilient consumer spending despite decades-high inflation. And this is, again, look, we're seeing very high inflation. Again, we've just been through the inflation report. 9.1% year over year. It's truly tragic, that. But, as again I said, US retail sales, they're clearly coming out stronger than ever. Look, you've got consumer spending resilient. Yeah? Always sort of go deep on the words, what they use, right? Resilient. Huge, huge words there. It shows that, you know, the buyers, they don't care about the inflation sort of coming out. You know, even if prices are higher, fuck it. They don't care. They're still going to spend it on whatever they want. And that's what we like to see on consumers. The value of overall retail purchases increased by 1%. So when we're talking retail, we're talking like your shops, your clothes shopping, your what's it called, like your online shopping, your major retailers. You know, I don't need to explain it. We all know what a retail sort of shop is. And as I said, that increased by 1% in June. Of course, we had a revised 0.1% there. Figures aren't adjusted for prices. Better than expected results indicate the consumer demand is holding up. That's what we want to see. If the consumer's spending money, businesses are earning money. That is what we want at the end of the day, folks. And hopefully we can make it happen. Of course, we want to go back to full screen. Friday, consumer sentiment came out, and that was a huge, huge number. Of course, we're going to get onto my predictions later on in the video, in this live stream. Welcome, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I can't get this link to work. Oh, it's worked there just as swell. We like to see it. We like to see it. Thanks. Oh, look, ads just pop up. I don't like them. Thanks to Pal's comments. Most important number from the sentiment survey is now inflation expectations. Of course, that's a huge number that the Fed actually pay attention to. If the Fed pay attention to it, you're going to want to pay attention to it as well. Get some munch. We're here cracking. I see 4 viewers. I'm living life. Look, I've got my beer here. As I said, Finance Fridays, if you're new, look, we just go through the whole week sort of news. I'll give my predictions for next week. I'll go through my predictions from last week, see what I got right, what I got wrong. We're seeing how stocks moved as well. We're going through consumer sentiment, which came out today, not long ago. The Fed chair freaked out last month's preliminary print of 3.9%. The good news, of course, we want to hear some good news because the markets have been going down and down and down and tumbling, is that inflation expectations tumbled in preliminary July. That is, again, huge news. And look, here we are, look. This is the lowest 5 to 10 year inflation expectations in the last 12 months. And that is what the market wanted, to back the Fed off a little. There we are, look. Bomb. Huge, huge numbers there. And I'm going to have to go back on this one, aren't I? There we are, look. But, and it's a big but. Now, I hate the way they word it because they're just coming out with more negativity, aren't they? We don't want negativity in the markets, but here we are. Inflation uncertain. Of course, we've got to understand that inflation is uncertain. And continue to grow, within 26% of consumer expecting prices to stay the same or fall over the next 5 to 10 years, up from 11% a year ago. To be honest, some of these charts don't really mean a lot. Of course, inflation expectations is the massive one that the Fed paid attention to. And we're back to 2 viewers. Like, what is this, man? What is this? Do you know what? They watched for a good couple of minutes. I'm happy. Right, that's it. Bomb. Retail sales. 1 week, they'll be watching every fucking minute of it and they'll be loving life. That's what will happen. Treasury yields mixed in the past week. US Treasury yields were stable. And there you are. Look, didn't really drop down a lot. Didn't really move up a lot. They sort of just wiggled about here. And yeah, that is what it is. Did I get my predictions right? Now, this is a major one. CPI/core CPI, below expectations. Of course, we're going to have a look. And to have a look, we go on Forex Factory. Now, this is a huge, huge site that I use most often. Forex Factory here. This is what you want to be going for. We go for this week. Apply settings. Bomb. CPI/core CPI, I said below expectations. Let's see what happened. Was it below expectations, yes or no? Bomb, it was above expectations. And again for core. So I was wrong on both fronts. Of course, I've been saying on the channel previously, haven't I? And yeah, I was wrong about that. Unfortunately, that shit happens. You know, you are going to be wrong. You are going to be right in economics. That is how it goes. PPI, I said miss expectations. Did it miss expectations? Let's have a little look. It was above expectations. We'll move this slide over here. Core PPI, I said miss expectations. Did it miss expectations? It did. So that's huge, huge news. And of course, I understood this before I even made this video, so it's not too surprising. However, unemployment claims, I said beat expectations. Did they beat expectations? They did. When I mean beat, I mean higher up. That's all I mean in the sort of market zone. The true fans stay. Oh, is that right, Tyrone Wong? Is that right? Is that right? Well, I love to see that. Of course, do leave a like on the stream so we can get spreading. Anyway, core retail sales up 1%, 1%. Bomb. Obviously got the above expectations. So I was right on both scores. So I've done extremely well in terms of retail sales. Of course, the thing is, right, I thought people were fairly sort of... I saw the jobs data come out. Of course, I was hugely wrong on the jobs data. However, the jobs data came out strong. So then I knew retail sales the following week, bomb, they would come out above expected. And I was right on the core anyway. Let's see. Was I right on both? I was right on both. I was right on both of the core retail and retail sales. So that's huge news. Consumer sentiment, I said above expectations. Was it above expectations? Let's have a little look. Look at that. Look at that. 49. We hit 51.1. Hugely above expectations there. And that was a good sort of prediction. Why do I think consumer sentiment would be above? Well, if retail sales are above expectations, right? If the job market's strong, then there's a high chance that people are spending at shops. If people are spending at shops, then retail sales and core retail sales will be above expected. If core and retail sales are above expected, then there's also a high chance that consumer sentiment will be above expected. Why? Well, the consumer is, of course, the shoppers. And if the shoppers are spending at shops, then they're going to feel more confident in terms of financial wise, and the consumer sentiment breeds above expectations. And that is how it goes. So that's a good week for predictions. CPI/core CPI, I did miss on both of them. I said below expectations, it was above. Of course, we get things wrong. PPI, I said miss expectations. I was wrong on that score as well. So my front three predictions were kind of shit. But then again, core PPI, I said miss expectations. We go over. Boom, core PPI, look, 0.4% expected, 0.5%. I was right on that score. Unemployment claims, I said beat expectations. Remember, when I say beat expectations, I mean higher than the number expected. And if we go to unemployment claims, which is here, boom, 235k, 244k. So we done reasonably well. We got core PPI right. We got unemployment claims right. We got both retail sales right, and we got consumer sentiment right. So I would say that's a successful week in the markets, and I'm happy with my sort of results there, with my predictions. Of course, we have got news next week, which will be coming on to my predictions for next week. But the next sort of slide, and I don't know why I'm not on the slideshow here. I might have to just quickly skip through it, but it's okay. As I said, whilst I'm doing this, you can always just hit the subscribe button and leave a like. But anyway, as I said, we've gone through the predictions. New stocks I invested in this week, none. Yeah, look on the screens right now. Look on the flipping screens. Oh, it's a lovely beer, and I'll have to down this at the end of the slideshow, which I know we're coming up to. But yeah, I didn't invest in any new stocks today. Why? Or over the past week, I mean, why? Well, you know, I just think that the markets are kind of at this sort of period where I'm very risk on anyway in the markets, so I don't necessarily need to add more positions to it. That's the first thing. Secondly, I don't want to short the market. Why? Because the market is too low. They've sold off quite big. Due to technical analysis, of course, if you've been watching the channel recently, you'll know about the sort of videos I've been putting up. But yeah, it's one of them ones where it's sort of in a stable condition where I don't really want to be buying and going too risky, but I don't really want to be selling at these sort of levels. I'm waiting for a pullback. So we're hit and miss. News and predictions next week. Of course, Monday, we've got nothing major. That's not actually a news and prediction for next week. That means generally nothing major if you didn't clock with that. Tuesday, housing starts, I've predicted above expected. Of course, you have to watch next week, next Finance Friday, to know whether I got that right or wrong. Wednesday, existing home sales come above expected. That's my prediction. Because I think, of course, we've seen the mortgage rates come down recently. The mortgage rates come down. That just means that more homes are going to be sold because the buyers are going to be interested. If they're getting a cheaper mortgage rate for their 30-year mortgage loans, then they're going to want to be buying, and that's why I expect home sales to be above. Thursday, again, nothing major, so it's going to be a quiet week next week. Of course, I can't really do anything about it. Flash services PMI, I put hit expected, and flash manufacturing PMI, I put below expected. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I don't think these two matter on a big sort of scale, but as I said, it's a quiet week, and I saw these two coming out, so I thought I'd chuck them in anyway. You get to know sort of business growth, sort of business health, and yeah, it's a good one to just throw in anyway in general. This is a big slide, this. What I think for stocks next week. S&P 500 to have a big push, all right? Notice the way I word it. I didn't say have a push. I didn't say move upwards. Big, yeah? Big push. I think the markets will do very well next week. Small cap stocks perform good. Tech stocks to perform good, yeah? I think all these stocks are going to be up. Again, I am currently risk on. I think hopefully it'll be a good week. Of course, you have to tune in next week to see if that was correct, if that wasn't correct. And yeah, you can always brutalize me massively if I was wrong. OMG, it's BG Dollars, Tyrone Wong, OMJ. Look, welcome to the chat, OMJ. Welcome to the chat, Tyrone Wong. Of course, please put in your stock sort of predictions, your stock sort of moves in the chat, and I'll be sure to get back to you on that. Energy to continue moving downwards. Of course, we've seen energy recently sell off, haven't we? And yeah, I don't see that changing anytime soon. Risky stocks, cannabis plays, unprofitable businesses trading higher. That's what I see for the future. Crypto to also continue trading high, because if it's a risk on week, then I think stocks, crypto will do well in general. I'll tell you what, if there's anything left in this, because fucking hell, I've just poured a load on me, haven't I? I'm in Margate now, about to make a guest appearance. Do you know what, OMJ? I might actually just stick on the live then, because I'm going to be honest with you. This is the last slide. Let me know how far away you are, and I'll see. This is the last slide. So normally I probably would be ending the stream right now. But if you are only a couple of minutes away, then I'll stay on. And we're going to have OMJ on the screen for you. He's going to talk about stocks. He's going to give his opinion on what he thinks is going to move in the markets. But anyway, on this slide, stocks to watch. TARK, of course, that's double ARK. If you don't know what the ARK Innovation ETF, Cathie Woods ETF, very risk-on sort of ETF there. If you're very bullish on the markets, I recommend TARK. If you're not, then stay away from it because it's very risky. Coinbase, again, if you think crypto is going to go up, Coinbase will go up. If you think crypto is going to go up, right, blockchain will go up. Teladoc, again, another risk-on one. It's in Cathie Woods ARK ETF, as I said. Teladoc, again, is a health one, but their financial report last quarter was dreadful. Tyrone Wong said, wait for him. Okay, Tyrone Wong. I might give him a little bell. Should I give him a little bell? Should I get him on the call on the live anyway? I'll tell you what, let's give him a little bell. I don't even know if I have his flipping number, actually. Let's go through it. Fred. Yeah, you belled me the other day, you cunt. Let me see. Fuck. What was your number again? 0795. Oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't read my numbers out loud, eh? Fucking hell, you literally belled me the other day and I can't find it. Put it on the chat. Any new viewers are going to think this is an utter shambles, but we're trying to secure a flipping live appearance from OMJ, so don't chat shit, alright? Don't care. Right, I'm going to have to reset the live. One sec, don't go anywhere. Right, if you are new watching on this channel, as I said, we're going to have a live appearance from OMJ. He knows a lot about the markets, he knows a lot about stocks. He knows exactly what you want. He knows exactly how to make money in this game. He's going to make a live appearance, but I'm willing to wait for him to turn up. And yeah, for that to happen, of course, I'm going to have to sit back, relax. I could always peek out my window to see if he's coming. OMJ, he is quite old. He is quite old, you know. You think I'm a young buck at 19, but he is old. He's got some age to him. Grey hairs, I do notice as well. I'll tell you what. I'll down this because technically it would be the end of the stream and I'd have to down it anyway. I know there's not a lot left. I sort of mugged you off, but you just got to take it on the chin sometimes. Next week will be Finance Friday, of course. Watching my shorts, you watching my videos that I'm coming out. They're the stocks to watch on your screen, as I said. If you are a new viewer, because I see we have 4 viewers, and shout out to you lot at home watching. Of course, do subscribe. I am on the journey to become a millionaire. Not many people are in the position that I am that don't become a millionaire in the future. That is just straight facts, to be honest with you. I'm going to down this bev, as I said. I think I hear OMJ. I honestly think I hear OMJ. Honestly, 4 viewer, do not be... Oh, okay, we're back to 2 viewers now. But I think I hear OMJ. I hear someone outside. I presume it's going to be OMJ. Right, as I said, sorry to leave the stream, but I just have to check. It may not have been OMJ. Tyrone Wong, are you sure we want to wait up till OMJ turns up? Because people are just coming on the live stream and thinking, what the fuck is going on? Sorry. Do you know what I mean? Like, we had a 4th viewer, we had someone maybe fucking genuine on this shit, and he left straight away. But I suppose that's the aim of the game, isn't it? It's just what we want to see anyway. Where's the... He's too old. He is very old. He's a very old cunt. I won't lie, you know. I'm not going to chat shit and say he's not old, because he's fucking got grey hairs growing on the back of his scalp. And yeah, like, where is he at, though? He told me R8. He told me R8. Do you know what? I'm delving into this shit. We're going on Trainline. Tyrone Wong, I know you appreciate this. We're going on Trainline. We're seeing where this fuck came from. Where did he come from again? Ramsgate. And he lives in Ramsgate, don't he? Fucking Mazgate. What's this shit? Razgate. Alright. Train Ramsgate to Margate. Don't talk shit to me, was it late? 2048 to 2059. That's not the one he got, because he fucking said he was in Margate 20 minutes ago, the cunt. So let's have a little look. Depart at... No, we're fucking... What is this shit? Man, I'm scrolling fucking... Can I just not set in a time? Yeah, 20... We go for 2020. Find routes. Yeah, 2020 to 2030. That was about the time that he said he was in Margate. He should be here by now. Later, pal. Some stream. Okay, do you know what? Yeah, let's just end it on that sort of score.